So it's so important that the energy sector in the United States of America, the fossil fuel sector in the United States of America, you got to tell your story. If you don't tell your story, they will. So here I got a couple of recommendations that I want to see you all do as you go forward. Number one, more TV ads. I remember that there were some TV ads out there that said, I'm an energy voter. You need to start getting TV ads out there to talk about being an energy voter. And you need to talk about the unreliability of wind and solar. You need to talk about the fundamental basis of oil, gas, and coal in the United States of America and what it provides to the everyday American citizen. Not the West Coast or East Coast elitists that want to drive around in a fancy little $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 electric vehicle. I don't want one, can't afford one, ain't gonna have it. I mean, think about when they tried to make a Harley Davidson electric motorcycle. Who the hell wants a Harley electric? I mean, I used to ride motorcycles. Maybe y'all know 3 years ago I had a horrific, accident. I should not be here. I got hit on Interstate 35 going 75 miles an hour. But when I flipped the engine on my motorcycle, I didn't want to hear buzz. I wanted everyone to know I'm coming. I wish that person that hit me had known I was coming. But that electric motorcycle failed. You've got to start talking about who you are and what you do and what your industry provides. We're over there pumping money and supporting China and that dirty coal that they have. Why aren't we supporting the coal that we have here in the United States of America? The second thing you got to do, videos. I see young people sitting over there. Young people like videos. And it was absolutely right. If you're on social media, you need to be out there putting things out on social media. And not too long, 2.5 to 3 minutes. I'm sorry, young people, but that's about your attention span. Am I right? 2.5, 3 minutes. After that, they're shut down. They're going somewhere else, okay? But you've got to connect with young people. Why do you need to connect with young people? What just happened next door to you in Montana? Some young people brought a lawsuit in the state of Montana saying that they were adversely affected by climate change, and the judge in Montana ruled for them in that case. How? What is wrong? It's freaking cold in Montana in the winter. What do you think it's going to be? But yet, this is the delusion that is going on. So you've got to get out there on video. Radio ads, real simple. I was out there with Mr. Hennon this morning. I mean, you've got to get on radio. You got to tell your story 24/7, 365. You got to bombard them because, yes, they own the microphone. But you've got to be insurgents when it comes to protecting your energy security. The next thing I want you to do, engage your employees. When I was a commander, how many people here served in the military? Soldiers, sailors, airmen. Thank you so much for your service. We really appreciate it. Y'all remember the barracks lawyers? Remember the knuckleheads in the barracks that, they always knew better than the commander? Well, you got barracks lawyers. You got those kind of people in your businesses, in your industry. And you've got to go out there and talk to your employees so they understand the decisions that you are having to make. They have to understand, we talked about the regulatory environment that you're in. Your employees need to understand that regulatory environment. I'm not talking about talking to them so that their eyes glaze over the head. But when I stood out in front of my 600 troops and I talked to them and I had them understand why I was tough on them, why I was asking them to learn infantry tactics, even though we were an artillery unit. Because when they got to Iraq and we were told to park our artillery pieces and to perform infantry tasks, they were ready. They were smoking Al-Qaeda. They were smoking people left and right. And they felt good about it. But if you're not having that level of communication with your employees, if all of a sudden your employees are going back, and I'll be very honest, they listen to CNN, they listen to MSNBC, and they listen to all these other people demonize you and demonize who you are and demonize your industry, they're going to end up voting against their own interests. So you got to talk to your employees. You got to make them shareholders. You got to make them stakeholders in what you're doing. So they're not going out there saying, oh, yeah, I'm on climate change and all this stuff. We need more EVs. We need more wind and solar. Okay, you're going to be out of a job. What are you going to do next?